Is there scientific information in the Quran much before it was validated by science? This is a topic of significant discussion and interest. It's crucial to frame this correctly. Muslims believe the Quran is the literal word of God, revealed to the Prophet Muhammad in the 7th century. Therefore, from an Islamic perspective, these scientific facts are not coincidences but signs of its divine origin. For many of these points, the Quran uses eloquent, poetic language that describes natural phenomena, which were only understood scientifically centuries later. Here are some of the most frequently cited examples, with the relevant verses and the scientific understanding that followed. 1. The expanding universe. For much of human history, the dominant view was of a static, unchanging universe. Quranic verse, "And the heaven we constructed with strength, and indeed, we are its expander." Quran 51:47, traditional understanding. The verse was understood as describing God's power and majesty in creating the vast heavens. Scientific validation. In 1929, astronomer Edwin Hubble provided observational evidence that galaxies are moving away from us, and the farther they are, the faster they recede. This led to the conclusion that the universe is expanding, a cornerstone of the Big Bang model. 2. The Big Bang and the initial unity. The concept that the universe had a beginning was philosophically debated but not scientifically established. Quranic verse. Have those who disbelieve not considered that the heavens and the earth were a joined entity, and we separated them? Quran 21:30, traditional understanding. This was a metaphysical statement about God's power to create the cosmos from a single point. Scientific validation. The Big Bang theory, formulated in the 20th century, posits that the entire universe was initially a single, infinitely hot and dense point, a singularity, which then expanded and cooled, forming the galaxies, stars, and planets we see today. The joined entity is seen as a profound description of this initial state. 3. Embryology. The detailed stages of human embryonic development were unknown in the 7th century. Quranic verses. We created man from an extract of clay. Then we made him as a drop in a place of settlement, firmly fixed. Then we made the drop into an alaka, leech, suspended thing, or blood clot. Then we made the alaka into a mudja, chewed lump. Quran 23:1-14. Traditional understanding. These were descriptive terms for the stages of formation in the womb. Scientific validation. Modern embryology confirms these descriptions with remarkable accuracy. Nutfa refers to the fertilized ovum or sperm drop. Alaka. This has 3 meanings that all align with the embryonic stage. 1. A leech. The embryo's shape and attachment to the uterine wall resembles a leech. 2. A suspended thing. It is hanging in the womb. 3. A blood clot. At this stage, the blood within the embryo does not circulate until the heart starts beating. Mudja, the chewed lump stage, accurately describes the somites, the early formations of the vertebrae that look like teeth marks on a piece of gum. 4. The protection of the sky, atmosphere. The sky was seen as a mere canopy. Quranic verse. And we made the sky a protected ceiling. Quran 21:32, traditional understanding. The sky was seen as a shield held up by God's power. Scientific validation. We now know the atmosphere acts as a protective shield in several ways. It burns up most meteors, blocks harmful cosmic and solar radiation, like UV rays, via the ozone layer, and retains the heat necessary for life. Without this protected ceiling, life on Earth would not be possible. 5. The submarine world and internal waves. The deep sea was a realm of mystery and danger. Quranic verse. or the state of a disbeliever, is like the darkness in a deep sea which is covered by waves, above which are waves, above which are clouds, layers of darkness, one upon another. When one puts out his hand therein, he can hardly see it. Quran 24:40. Traditional understanding, a powerful metaphor for spiritual ignorance and confusion. Scientific validation. Oceanography has revealed that deep seas have internal waves that act like surface waves but travel beneath the ocean's surface, between layers of different density. The verse perfectly describes this phenomenon: waves, above which are waves, and the near total darkness found in the deep ocean due to light being absorbed by the layers of water above. 6. The frontal lobe of the human brain and deceit. The specific function of brain regions was unknown. Quranic verse, "No, if he does not desist, we will surely drag him by the forelock," a lying, sinning forelock. Quran 96:15-16. Traditional understanding, the forelock, the front part of the scalp, was used as a metaphor for seizing a person. Scientific validation. Neuroscience has shown that the prefrontal cortex, located behind the forehead, is responsible for executive functions like planning, initiating action, and notably, impulse control and the ability to distinguish between truth and falsehood. The Quran's description of a lying, sinning forelock intriguingly points to the area of the brain associated with sinful decisions and deceit. 7. The uniqueness of fingerprints. The extreme individuality of fingerprints was not known. Quranic verse, "Does man think that we will not assemble his bones? Yes. We are able, even, to proportion his fingertips." Quran 75:3-4. Traditional understanding, a statement of God's absolute power to resurrect a person down to the smallest detail. Scientific validation. In the 19th century, fingerprints were established as a unique and reliable method of human identification. The verse's emphasis on the fingertips as a sign of God's creative power aligns with our modern understanding that no two people share the same fingerprint pattern. Important nuances to consider. Interpretation. These correlations are interpretations. The primary message of the Quran is spiritual and moral guidance, not a scientific textbook. Metaphor and literalism. The Quran uses powerful, observable metaphors to convey its message. The scientific miracles are often found by reading these metaphors through a modern scientific lens. Not proof, but sign. For believers, these points are not meant as proof for a scientific mind, but as signs, ayat, the same word used for its verses, that reinforce faith for those who already believe. The convergence between these ancient verses and modern science continues to be a profound area of study and reflection for many.